Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey, everybody out there in podcast land. How you doing this evening? And welcome to the big program. I'm afraid that I don't have any snappy banter to bring with me tonight because I'm just not feeling banterish or snappy in any way. So over here is my good friend from Southeast Virginia, Jessy Martin. There he goes. Salute. How you doing today?
Hello.
All right,
Yeah, nice day. You know, it's fucking 70 degrees, or at least it was about an hour ago outside.
Yeah.
70 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be 20 again next week, I think. But I tell you what, man, that cold snap we just had was bad. That was, I mean, not like mortal bad, but it lasted a long damn time. I don't like that
It's going
shit.
to be warm up until, I think, next weekend. Warmer, I mean, in between 50s and like 70. Fluctuating.
Sounds like pickleball weather to me. Down there working very hard on a list because he didn't do his homework is our good friend from Barrow and Furnace, UK.
Hey, don't call us out down here.
Scott Hartley. How you doing there, Scott? Filling out your form?
No, I was looking back at. I was doing my taxes. No, I was just looking back at the Big and Boss book, doing the looking at the totals that we predicted when we did our predictions at the beginning of the season. So
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear some of that
Oh
stuff.
God! Don't just ignore my
Yeah.
defense. I think
So I thought we'll go back and read that as we're doing superlatives. I thought we'll maybe add this to the general bullshit session. I don't know.
Well, I think that we should. Well, you know what? I think that they all run right along with some of these superlatives. But yeah, we can definitely work it in. We have Scott's list of the week. There we go. And down there, Max, who specifically asked me to play this at least 6 times a show. And I am really kind of curious about that, Max. What's up with that?
Well, my screen just went to black, so I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see what you played.
Is that working?
That worked. That's 2 now. Sometimes it's the connection for me, but there are times you play videos where I'm just okay.
I think your girlfriend's got it set so you can't see things. That's what it is. You got to go upstairs and get the parental controls off of the modem is what you got to do. Here, see if you can see.
69, ready, hot.
I always love that.
Do you know what's funny is though, right? That is your favourite one. I know that, but also I know it's another.
Because the ball goes about 8-9 feet up in the air off of his head. He drilled him.
It's another person's favourite.
It looks like he
so
got a fucking concussion off of that damn.
I was speaking to my wife earlier before we got on the show, and she said that lives in my head rent free. John's Hot 69. I was laughing.
All right.
I thought, go on.
There you go. That's cool because I've had like an earworm of an Elvis Costello song in my head for like the last 2 months, and it finally went away today. So I'm glad to know that Hut 69 is stuck in your wife's head. That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Slap. All right. Well, let's see. That's the introductions. By the way, as always, John Taman, worst podcast host in the world. All right. So what kind of general bullshit do we have to bullshit about today?
Not
We had
much,
a coach
really.
get plucked.
Yeah, we did. have a
Who
coach
actually
block.
went in the end?
The assistant linebacker coach went. I forget his name. It was like Frank something or other. Went
Okay.
Ken
back
Norton's still here.
into the Raiders to work under Pete Carroll for his old job. He was the Seahawks linebackers coach for a while, and then Carroll said,
Tell you what, call me crazy. I think I like the Raiders bringing in Pete Carroll. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, I'll
I
call
think
you
that's a
crazy.
stabilizing move.
I'll call you crazy. John Glenn. I know it was like a weird name, like
John Glenn, the
Frank.
astronaut.
No, did you see that there's been a few getting calls for offensive coordinators? So I saw that Our passing game coordinator, which is the guy from the Eagles, whose name escapes me, Brian Johnson. He got a call.
He used to sing for AC/DC. I don't know if anybody realized that. Then he decided that he wanted to be a football coach, and he came over to us.
And then Tavita Pritchard was got a interview for the Jags as well for their OC job. Both OC jobs. I think it was the Texans OC job. It was the one that was the guy who was quite high up on the head coaching list last time.
Bobby
used to be with us. Slowick. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, John. Yeah.
Hearing that coach in Jacksonville say Duval the other day, I'd cancel the interview. I'd be like, no, you know what? You are not going to fit in anywhere. That guy's going to be in the fucking locker room. All right, let's go, fellas. Let's fire it up right now. Everybody, come on, get your big swinging dicks in here, and let's get one up for the team. Duval.
The only thing that would have made it a bit better is if he had a bonnet on and he had a big, massive, great big lollipop and he's running through a field of pink tents. But, apart from that.
I'll tell you what, if you people out there in podcast land knew how many times Scott went to that while we were having a discussion about something completely different, you'd really start to wonder how much his psychiatry bill is.
Well, true.
There was also, I just saw the lease extension for the RFK Stadium site is pretty much complete.
Good.
Good.
And it will be approved on Tuesday's legislative session, so now they can really get down to
doing some planning.
Doing a plan. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I liked what I saw the other day. Some firm put together something.
Yeah, that was
I
really
have to
good.
yell at my dog.
And of course,
It was cool.
Scouts
It was really
shit
cool.
on it.
No, he didn't shit on it. He just said, "Why is it being made of wood?" Which, that bit I can kind of understand, because in some ways we look at stadiums over this side and you think you want to build it out of steel.
Yeah, well, you guys also get rain 350 days a year.
No, that's absolutely true, 100%.
And
But sustainability-wise, I get it.
We have in where I live, we have wooden buildings that have lasted.
We're not building a stadium out of wood.
Hundreds of years.
No, it was the roof. The whole roof was a wood structure all the way along.
Really? Wood?
Yeah, it was timber. It was a timber structure, yeah.
I think it'd be awesome. I mean,
it would look great, but you could do it without actually using wood. Something a little bit more durable.
Being realistic, like the stadiums they build are only really constructed to last like 50 years at most.
Everything in this country, dude, is built to break. You got to have another one.
That's maybe why we don't do it like that. You know what I mean? In that
wood
respect.
would be cheaper.
Well,
Yeah,
I put a video up in our chat the other day, and I don't want to bore everybody about it, but there's a reason that we build with wood, and it's something that's ingrained in our culture that goes all the way back to people coming here and finding out that is the most plentiful and easiest to get resource. So now what we expect in a house is wood. We expect it to look a certain way. But yeah, our houses will burn down. Scott, you're telling me you guys had, 98 mile an hour sustained winds last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, my house I'd be like fucking Dorothy flying up around and gone. Either that or every tree around me would be on top of my roof. That would be insane. So anyway, there's some general bullshit. How about that?
Definitely. Yeah.
That was some good general bullshit. I'd like to give us a hand for that. All right, so Scott, you do have the big embossed book, and you are going to find out how prescient we were at the beginning of the season. And for those of you that don't know what the word prescient means, once you find out, could you tell me? Because I'm just reading it off a fucking card here.
So
Max,
we'll find out.
I do have the stats up.
Yeah, I was going to say, get the stats.
I have the stats.
Good. Top
There we
man.
go.
You see, that's why you are the statistician on this.
The
show.
Max
Look,
statistician.
I have 3 monitors, and they're always in use. You see me do this a lot because my brain never stops. Some might call it ADD, some might call it ADHD. I just call it its max.
I call it an eye doctor's dream.
So Max's final record of the regular season, he came through with an 11-6, which is not far off. To be fair, that was a decent prediction.
I had us
five.
losing. I think I had us losing to Cincinnati, but beating Pittsburgh. I think was like
You did indeed, yeah. John, you had us at 9 and 8. And
9 and
obviously we massively overperformed to that. Jess, you had 10 and 7, and I was the Debbie Downer with 7 and 10. So, yeah, brilliant. Statistics wise, Max, we looked at JD's totals. He went for 25 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 3,500 yards, and 700 rushing yards and 6 rushing TDs. So what was his actual stats?
He went 3,568, 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, 891 rushing yards with 6 touchdowns.
Wow, that is not bad. That's pretty good. Jesse, you said 30. You said 31-7, and then you said 4,050 yards and 485 rush. John, you went 28-12, and 3,800 yards, 600 on the rush, and 5 rushing TDs. I went 26-4, 3,900 yards. 450 rush and 3 rushing touchdowns. Max, on the rushing side, you said B-Rob would get 1,050 yards and 8 TDs. You said Eckler would get 650 and 4 TDs. So I don't know what they actually Eckler's stats were.
Eckler, B-Rob had 799 and 8 touchdowns.
You know
Eckler
what?
had
I bet on over 800. God damn it!
Eckler was.
Eckler had what? Sorry,
367 and 4. I'm good at touchdowns, apparently.
Yeah, you're doing well. Yeah. Jesse, you had B-Rob at 970 and 11 TDs, and Eckler 408 TDs. So big game out of the running backs. That's what you were thinking. John, you went 11 TDs, 9 rushing, 1,200 and 1,500 total. And then you went Eckler, 600 yards and 6 TDs. I went 850, 8 TDs. And then 450 for Eckler and 3 TDs. Receiving, Jess, you said Terry would have the most catches and he would have 1,100 yards. You're not far off that one.
He had 82 catches for 1,096.
Yes, 13 touchdowns.
Terry, John, you said Terry would have 9 TDs and 1,200 yards. And your next was Diami Brown with 780 yards and 5 TDs. So I don't know what Diami Brown and
I don't think he got that much yardage. He
finished
he might
with
have got 5 TDs.
He only had 1. He only had 1 in the regular season. He had 1.
Oh, right. Then he came
1 TD.
Postseason.
In the regular season, he had 1, and that was the long one against Cleveland.
Right.
But he did have 30 catches for 300 yards, 308.
Okay. I said Terry would have 78 catches, 10 TDs, and 1,104. And our next one would be Noah Brown with 5 TDs and 670. Is where we went with. And then the sack leaders, Jesse, you said you said Luvu would have 14 sacks, which is a bit crazy. Yeah,
he had 8.
Yeah. Sorry, and then John, you said Luvu as well with 11. Max, you said Newton with 9.5.
I did.
And I said Armstrong with 9. So I don't know who was our leading.
So our leading sacker was Dante Fowler with 10.5. Luvu had 8. Armstrong had 5, and then Johnny Newton had 2.
I'm subtracting one from Fowler for lousing up that play against the Eagles on their first frickin' possession.
Total sacks, Max, you said 36 for the team. Jesse, you said 37. John, you said 41. And I said 34. So I don't know how many sacks we had on the season.
43.
43?
43 total sacks.
I said 41.
You said 41, John. So you.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. I get to come on down.
You do, yeah. Dark Horse, Jesse, you said Quan Martin. I think we can safely say he had a very good season. John, you went with Yankov. You're obviously in one of them moods.
I think it was almost the end of the show, and I was thinking of something else. So
Max went with Wiley.
He had an all right year.
And I said Coleman would have a decent season.
He had an all right year.
Interceptions wise,
I think I won that one.
Jesse, you went with Forbes with 4.
Yeah, that's not
he had one.
He had 1.
Max said BSJ with 5.
I did.
He didn't have shit.
Again.
Hey, I just want to say that week 1, second possession, he had his hands on a ball, and then it never happened again.
Yeah. And I
John,
do
you
think
said-
we all laughed at Max for saying
did?
that,
Yeah, we
too,
did.
I'm
We
pretty
did.
sure.
Yeah. John, you went with Quan Martin with 5. Mm-hmm. And
He
then
had,
I
what,
said
2?
In the regular
I
season, he
said-
had 1.
1.
I said Sam Still with 4.
So we had,
Who-
let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only had 7 interceptions on the season.
Oh my word! Who was the leading person?
Mikey Sanders still with 2.
Sandstrel.
2.
Oh, I did okay. I got that one. Tackles wise, John, you said B Wags would have the top tackles with 150 and 85 solo tackles.
I think I got close on the
Jessy-
85.
Jesse said 110 for Wags. I said 110, and then Max said Luvu with 85 solo. So who was?
So,
It must have been Bobby Wagner.
So Wagner was our leading tackler with 132 total and 75 solo.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's
Jeremy
a good
Chin
shout.
was second,
10 over.
73 total, 44 assists for 117. Luvu was third with 54, 45 for 99 total. And who else was I looking for?
That was it. That was exactly where we were.
All right.
And then MVP wise, everybody said Jaden Daniels, apart from Jesse, who said B Rob.
Okay.
Which is okay. And then most improved was Emmanuel Forbes for Jesse. John, you said Diami Brown. Max, you said Jamin Davis. Okay. And I said Percy Butler. So, yeah.
To be
I mean,
fair,
Max picked the guys that
to
booted
be
off
fair,
the team.
Jamin Davis was named Employee of the Month in December at that fucking Baskin Robbins that he's working at up in New York now.
Is he not in Minnesota anymore?
And then
No,
Rookie
they cut
of
him.
the Year.
Last I saw that it was the Jets were sniffing around.
He's
him.
on the Jets.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought.
Rookie of the Year was the last one we did. John, you said Sam Still. I said Sam Still. Jesse, you said Sam Still. Max, you said Johnny Newton.
Oh, I thought I said Ben.
Boy, that
Sinnott.
Jaden Daniels didn't get any love from us.
I think we were trying to avoid.
I think we avoided Jaden Daniels.
We
on
were
that
going.
one.
Yeah, we
MVP,
weren't.
and
we
then
didn't wanna
we
curse
were
ourselves.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
weren't allowed to say that. Yeah, and that was where we were for the season.
All right, well, that's how we did. So, I
One
guess it
second
sounds all right.
before we finish, we have the NFL as a whole. MVP battle. Jesse, you said Jordan Love. Max, you said Burrow. John, you said Mahomes. I said Mahomes. And then Rookie of the Year, Jesse, you said Jaden. John, you said Jaden. Max said Marvin Harrison Jr. And I said Caleb Williams.
So let me ask. Are you sure
Dang.
you didn't misspell Josh Allen on that MVP?
No, you literally said Jordan Love.
No. Okay. All right.
That's how it goes.
I was just throwing shit into the wind on that one.
We're trying to predict the future. I mean, I don't know the scientific way to do that, but apparently Max does in some regards. So how did we do overall, Scott? What would you give us as a podcast? Give us a grade on our overall performance in the preseason.
I think we did B. I think we did very well.
B?
Yeah, because there's a lot. You were very close on
my
things like
teacher.
tackles.
Ah.
There was a lot we did well.
Yeah. All right. We got a B, baby. I'm happy with that. We got a B. So I'm going to tell you something right now. Next year, when it comes down to August and you're wondering where you get the downright good information here on Podcast Land, you come to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. And if you come and see us in March, we'll give you 10% off a tarot card reading and 25% off your a head bump reading, phrenology or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's what Jesse does in the off season to make money, right?
No.
Hang on.
Jesse says this head only has one bump all the time. What's going on? All right, so let's see. We do have some things
Sorry.
to get to.
Just put my headscarf on. Oh, it was a sham. It was a sham. I put a case on you.
I
Come and
actually
see.
did have.
I'll get the magic 8-ball out and we'll see what it says, eh? Okay, now.
I
That's where it's
actually
gone
had
to.
some woman tell me that they'll never win anything. See, I told you they'll never win anything until they go back to the old name. And it's like, the fuck kind of crazy cat lady are you? you know, there's some kind of curse that says that they're never going to win. And way to step up right after the NFC Championship to inform us of this. You know, like, I knew something. Oh, you knew something, you fucking crazy bitch. Oh, man.
Who fucking said this?
Oh, it was some woman. It was nobody that we actually know. It was nobody that we know. It was just somebody. It was, I don't know. Somebody picked up on something I said, and they wanted to say something back, so fuck it. I threw some bait at him.
Scott G says the love for Forbes is an F in itself. Probably right. Yeah.
I got to tell you, Jessy was deep throating on frickin' Emmanuel Forbes all August. We were. I'll tell you this. We were practically coming to blows over here in the fucking podcast about that shit. You watch. So there we go.
I thought he was going to turn his twig fucking legs around and fucking catch
Evening
something.
Valiance, you all right? Is he still at the Rams then?
He is, I suppose. Sure. You know, the good thing about him is he can hide amongst the shoelaces. Nobody will see him. He can stay on the team for as long as he can stay there.
So I have a coworker who's a Rams fan. He told me that in that last game when he got exclusive playing time against Seattle, he said he didn't play bad, which to me says he did what he did here too.
Well, you know, I just don't think that he's got the physicality to play in this league. It's just unfortunate because he's got
his
good
confidence got shot. This fucking
Oh, yeah.
second he got into the NFL
because he found out he
real
didn't have the
fucking
physicality. He got in the NFL and went, damn, these guys are big. they pushed him around. So that's what I think happened to him. What's up, Scouse? How you doing this evening?
Joins the program.
Hello, mate.
I had a dream the other night that I went to a Cowboys game with Scouse, and he was sitting in front of me. And every time I tried to look up at that 60-yard TV, I had to say, Scouse, the fuck out of the way.
You arsehole. Fuck off.
All right.
This has got to stop.
I'm sorry.
It's been an entire year, John, and you're still there.
Oh, that was fun. Well, I think I've lost my place on the list here. All right, we did the book. All right, so let's go ahead. I've got to get my head clear, and let's go ahead and do some superlatives for the season. That's what everybody's here to pay attention to, not to listen to me make jokes about Scouts or anything like that. He'll come back at me this week, so you watch. You watch. Ball's in your court, buddy. All right, so let's get us started right off the bat. We're going to make some ground rules right here and now. I do not want to hear anything about Jaden Daniels. He's not on this list. All right.
He is.
Well, I mean,
is on the list.
MVP.
He's on
you got to
for
put
one.
him. He's on for MVP. Well, Offensive Player of the Year. He is so far and away the obvious choice that let's just say that he's off limits on that. He's chosen.
What I did for me is MVP is the quarterback award, and then OPOY is everybody else, as the NFL Honors actually does it.
All right, let's go.
Oh, you're giving us NFL guys or as
No, for our team, but I'm saying that was my logic when I was making my list. Was that
you mean what you were doing 5 minutes before the show started?
Hey, shush.
I'm sorry, Dad. My dog ate it.
There's
My
always
dog
a
ate
kid on the bus doing his homework. All right.
That's right. All right. So we'll start it off with Offensive Player of the Year. Jesse, let's start with you.
You got to go Terry McLaurin.
These are new glasses.
The one main weapon that we had on offense that it was a rough start in the first few games. It was hard for Jaden to get a real connection with them, but as the season went on, they developed a really, really good connection. And what was it, 12 touchdowns for Terry? So that was
13.
13. That was the broke the record. So it's got to go to Terry.
Well, to be fair, Scouse, I'm not going to take my new glasses back. I can't get a refund on them. They're not supposed to make me look better. They're supposed to make you look better, and it didn't work.
Should have gone to Specsavers, mate. Jesus.
Specsavers. Sounds like some kind of forensic team. Coming up next on CBS, Specsavers. All right, go ahead. Max.
Is there anyone that did anything different for OPOY?
No, we all put Terry. I put Terry in.
I put Terry as well, yeah,
Okay.
because he had an elite season. I don't care what anybody else says.
Runners? I got a runner up.
Yeah, we can have runner-ups. Go ahead.
I'll go Tyler Biotish.
Okay. I would say Zach Ertz would be a runner-up for me.
Yeah.
I thought he had a
that's a good
fantastic
one.
season. He was exactly what we needed him to be, a reliable target for a young quarterback to be able to unload to when he needed one.
Those are two.
Who's next?
I mean, those are you guys are just covering it. Like that's.
Those are the only ones.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say the only ones, but those are the two. That's just the obvious choice. You know, you could make you can make a very strong argument for Zach Ertz.
I just did.
You didn't say Zach Ertz, did you?
I said Ertz.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
he said his runner-up. And
I have you not paying attention to. I have you on mute. So.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. You mute the show host. Don't talk. It's because you're still doing your homework. He's waiting for his turn to be able to give the answer that he's got. All right. So then, Offensive Player of the Year, Max. Who is your choice other than Jaden Daniels?
Terry McLaurin.
All right. So everybody's going Terry. Runner-up on Zach Ertz. Runner-up on Tyler Biadasz. All right. So Defensive Player of the Year. Let's move on to that. I feel like we need some kind of exciting music or some kind of shit. But
this, I mean. With the defensive side of the ball, you could go a couple of ways, but I think that Luvu should probably be top of most of our lists, I would say.
Luvu for me was 2.
Okay.
I've got Luvu. He is my defensive player of the year.
I have another one in mind that maybe no one else was is thinking about, but I'll wait for the.
Well, I also took Frankie Luvu. 99 tackles, 12 for loss, 8 sacks, 14 quarterback hits. He set the tone. And as much as I waffled back and forth between him and Bobby Wagner, because Wagner also came here and did exactly what we wanted him to do by being the veteran leader. He performed well. I just went with Luvu, just over the better tackles.
For that very reason, I went with Wagner, just because not only was statistically he was the leading tackler, he was the leader of the defense, but he was just the motivator for everybody on defense. And if it was a good unit or not, we can have that argument for days. But, he got the defense into a mindset where, hey, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were aggressive.
I'm going to say it is a good unit, and I think it's the defensive line's issue when it comes to the run game that we'll probably be talking about all offseason, how they need to fix it. And it's about them not being able to swallow up their blocks and letting the offensive line get into the second level and taking out guys like Luvu and Wagner. Scotty, who do you got?
Yeah, I got Frankie Luvu as well. That's exactly where I was going to go with it. I think he's a glue guy. He's came in. He's done exactly what we expected him to do. He wasn't one of the one-year signings, but you could argue Chin would be up there as well from a defensive standpoint. But for me, it's Frankie Luvu.
I'm going to say
Chin. I thought had a year that's good enough to re-sign him, but I wouldn't put him up as a defensive player of the year. He had his ups and downs.
I can definitely see Bobby Wagner, choices of Bobby Wagner.
Oh yeah,
but I'm going to throw. I'm going to throw Fowler out there. I think for what he did in the pass rush game, I think he has a slight argument to be at least in the top 3 of defensive player of the year for our team.
I mean, the biggest thing about Fowler is just how much his expectations versus what he actually performed.
That's what I mean. No one really expected him to go out there and get 10.5 sacks.
Right.
I mean, he had 10.5 at like the end of November.
Yeah, he had like 9.5, and it took him a long time to get the 10th one.
Yeah.
He was trying to get it against the Cowboys. I think it set some kind of mark.
Probably banking on like maybe 4, 5 at most for him.
Right. I mean, we didn't expect a lot of sacks from our defensive line. It was just, we thought they would just buck up and let Luvu run loose, or that we'd get some defense or D tackle pressure. And our ends.
It seemed like, on that thought, Max, it seemed like, what Peters did in the offseason was try to, shore up the run game with, the signing of Farrell, because he's not a pass blocker. He's supposed he's keys in the run game.
Right.
Well, that didn't fucking work, as we all know.
No, I didn't hear Farrell's name hardly at all this year, given the amount of snaps.
3 sacks?
He had 3.5.
He never really made an effect. I like, I always blank on his fucking name, and then when I come to say his name, I blank on it because I panic. I think I'm not going to forget his name, and the other end, Dante Fowler. Thank you, Scotty. My God, I blank on it every time. I like the way he plays. I think that he's fast and he's kind of reckless. he's always got his hands up high, which you want him to do if he's coming in on a rush because he's got some long arms. But he's got to get him down before he makes the hit, and he's come down on the quarterback's head and shoulders a couple of times and gotten flags in bad spots. And I'm going to say it again, Saquon's run on the first play of their game was because he knocked everybody over. Sometimes I think he's a little reckless, but I'd re-sign him. All right, so where are we going now? All right, special teams. Special teams player of the year. This ought to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go with David Bloor.
Nick Ballore, that's who
Nick
I went
Ballore.
with, yeah.
Nick
All right, David Ballore, accepting for David Ballore, his brother Nick.
Nick. Yeah, he was a special team standout in what was it, Seattle. We really didn't expect too much from him coming in, but I thought he had a hell of a season.
I think you got to give Reeves a bit of love there as well. Reeves had a great season as well on specials, so but we knew he was a special team ace. But I've gone with what you've got there. Nick Ballore is who I went with, but special mention to Jeremy Reeves.
What you got, Max?
I went with
Special
Cade
teams player of the year.
Cade. No, Nick Ballore. I'm sorry.
You went with Cade York. Who did you go with? Cade York.
He almost gave Scouts a heart attack. Scouts would have been trying to. What'd you say? What the fuck did he say?
Tressway MVP, mate.
He's
Yeah,
had
I get you.
4 punts all season. How can you give it to the Tress?
He had a great pass in the last
did.
game.
I mean, look,
regular season
stats.
These are
Here's the
regular
thing: is
season awards.
regular season, Tressway had 50 punts total, and he had 22 inside the 20 with 2 touchbacks.
That's great. That's great. All right, for me, special teams player of the year, I got 2 of them. Austin Siebert won a fucking game for us. Dude kicked 7 field goals his first time out. Won a game. He lost the game for us. That's why the other one would be Zane Gonzalez. As the dude came through for us in the clutch when we needed him to. He was 8 or 7 out of 8 in the playoffs. And I know this is regular season, but you guys picked all the other ones. I'm going to pick Tyler Owens. I guess I could. I could tell him that his award is up there on the moon, and he'd probably go, "Oh, that thing doesn't even
You can
exist
have an
anymore."
argument for our second team All-Pro returner in Austin Eckler as well.
I could, but I'm not going to. I kind of like Zane Gonzalez. I think he can solve our kicker problem if he keeps playing the way he does. I'd bring in some competition, but 7 out of 8 bounced the one in against Tampa Bay.
I don't know. To me, I was a little disappointed in Jeremy Reeves this year.
Well, the thing with Jeremy Reeves, if you watched all of his stuff, he's getting double teamed on most kick returns.
Yeah.
And the thing about, you look at Ballore, who just came in like a heat-seeking missile no matter what the play was. And then you also look at Reeves, and he's getting 2-3 guys looking at him. Can't really fault him for that. But
I'll tell you who else was very good on tackling on special teams, and he wasn't always on specials, but he spent a lot of his time there, was McNichols. He was an awesome tackler, man. He
fumbled in the
awesome.
playoffs.
Percy
though.
Butler was too. Percy Butler was
man.
really good on, fucking kickoffs or punting.
So what I'm hearing really is Larry Izzo, or not Larry Izzo.
it's Larry Izzo.
Larry Izzo, because I always get there's an Izzo up, there's another Izzo. Larry Izzo, come on down.
Lizzo.
Larry Izzo wins this Special Teams Coach of the Year award for me.
So
all of we all found different players that we could put out for Special Teams Player of the Year, and none of us could argue against any of them, other than to say that fucking Austin Siebert lost us a football game, which is pretty bad.
Here's the thing, real quick, about Austin Siebert that I find a little interesting. He only played 9 games, right?
Okay, right.
He had the 13th most made field goals in the entire league.
Well,
Everyone else
2 games.
We had 7 of them in one game.
Right. But what I mean
He
is,
sat there and watched it.
right. But what I mean is, every other he had 27 made field goals in 9 games. That's 3 a game. If you look at the names underneath of him, you're looking at kickers that are Joey Sly's underneath of him, and then you look at who's above him. I mean, the guy who made the most was in Pittsburgh. He had 41. Mm-hmm. Jessy would have an aneurysm if we kicked 41 field goals.
Well, I'm sure we could probably bring in Justin Tucker if we really wanted to. I don't think that man's going to have a job for very much longer.
Yeah, Cleveland's going to give up a couple first-round picks for his ass. I saw that tweet, and I died laughing when I saw that.
Was funny, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But is it for his ass? Does Deshaun like that part of it? I don't know. Maybe they're both going to go to the massage parlor.
Fucking put it in each other's pooper.
Yeah, they'll get the cow machines, just. or whatever they do.
Where is this show gone anyway?
Oh, it's
Moving
going
on.
right where it's supposed to go. And just you're
His
busted,
pick of
buddy.
the week.
You're busted. Listen, I got a little bit of advice for anybody out there. All right.
Where
If
is
you
this
got
going?
some kind of weird shit, don't do it in public, you dumbass. Especially if
just
you're a
go-
public figure.
to
God
the-
damn.
Go to the Asian masseuse. Come on, everybody knows that.
Robert Kraft did.
Look at Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft, he knew what to do. Hey, I tell you what, it's right here in the strip mall. You go get some tea bags. I'll go in here and
Go to
I'll do
Publix.
some tea bagging. Yeah, there was a Publix next door to it. Grocery store.
All right, MVP.
MVP.
Do we have to
Unanimous.
talk
It's got
It's
to be.
unanimous.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Plain and simple. All right, I got a category here. All right, Jesse. Fuck, marry, kill. Benjamin St. Juste, Sheldon Day, or Zane Gonzalez.
Fucking hell, man. Probably kill St. Juice.
All right, kill St. Juste.
Who's the other two?
Sheldon Day and Zane Gonzalez. You know Zane Gonzalez will at least have some nice hair.
Yeah, true. I'd probably marry Sheldon Day because
Obviously, he can cook.
yeah, he can cook and he can be my
Somebody-
bodyguard.
Right.
And,
All right, so
at
you're going to
least
fuck
Zane
Zane Gonzalez.
Gonzalez's hair's nice to look at.
Can't touch it though.
I'm not going to say what's on my mind. Not on this podcast. There might be children paying attention.
Do you guys, Scotty? Do you know who Larry Allen was?
Yeah.
No.
Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
He was a lineman for the Cowboys in the 90s to 2000s. He got steroid tested a bunch because he could bench 700 pounds.
Jesus.
But
Oh, yeah, he was
the
awesome.
thing that I mentioned him about was when he got inducted in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
He he said that on his first date with his wife, she made him 2 chickens, a birthday cake, French fries, and a 40, and he was in love.
Hi, man.
2 chickens. What did she eat?
Two full
I'm just going to have a
chickens.
salad. Just a salad for me.
She gave him 2 chickens and a 40.
Hold the seat. Hold the seat. Yeah.
40.
Hold the season dressing.
Cold 45 for your 2 chickens. it pairs well with the chicken.
Just imagine though, that's your first date. That's a woman who said, "I'm going to go on a date with this man. All right, I need a chicken. I need
I
two
need
of
2
them."
chickens and a bottle of Colt 45 malt liquor. That's great. He was a big fella. All right, so anyway, speaking of Larry Allen. All right, so Jesse has decided that to fuck, marry, kill, he would kill St. Juste, he would fuck Zane Gonzalez, and he would marry Sheldon Day. All right, who is our Rookie of the Year on offense other than Jaden Daniels? We'll start with you, Max.
See, I struggled.
You struggled?
I struggled because I looked at the rookies.
I told
and-
you. I dropped you once.
All
Sorry.
right. But for me, in terms of the offense, I went with
really one. that you
I
could
went
pick.
with Luke McCaffrey, and I went with McCaffrey specifically.
That's
I went with McCaffrey because of his special teams play.
I went with Coleman on this one.
I did. It did say offense, right?
It did.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's an offensive player. Plus, what I'm talking about is on kick returns, which you can classify as an offense. He averaged 30 yards a return.
Listen, if you
I'm
take it
gonna
and you
go
section it off here, and you take this part, and you don't even put it in the equation, and you move these things around this way, you put it up around this way, McCaffrey was awesome.
Look at what Coleman did, like performance-wise, and then just trying
he
to.
was okay.
17
He
games.
was okay.
Hey, you're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to vote for whoever you want.
There's not much. There's not much to go off.
He did more good than harm. And he did it at one of the most difficult positions in all of football, being left tackle.
Yeah, I think so. Brandon Coleman, I thought, stepped up pretty well. Let's see. I had Brandon Coleman, Rookie of the Year, other than Jaden. That's who I had as well. Brandon Coleman. Yeah, right. He wasn't perfect, but he's a rookie left tackle, and he played against some quality players, man. And to be candid, nowadays, the best rushers aren't necessarily all coming at the left tackle. There's a lot of them coming dead up the fucking middle now.
Look what
All right,
Micah
it used to be
Parsons
that the
did
pass
against
rushers used to be, those are your pass rushers were your ends, and now it's it's everybody. Everybody's coming in.
In the 2 games we played against Dallas, Micah Parsons lined up more over the center or the guard than he did the tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I see that a lot more often. So maybe maybe Adam Peters was as smart as I am and saw that possibly you could get away with a 3rd-round pick at left tackle instead of overspending, which maybe I would commend him for.
And it's his second year. It's always it takes time for tackles, especially when they're rookies, to understand the game, to understand the protections, to understand what's coming at them, the stunts, all that sort of stuff, the way that elite pass rushers will come at you. So it takes a lot of time. I mean, look, Christ, if we even go back to like Trent Williams' rookie year, he wasn't great.
No, he wasn't.
So
then they took him to the carnival, and he watched those people in the motorcycles go around in the ball, and he said,
remember, too,
there's the stunt.
We drafted Brandon Scherf to be a right tackle, and he couldn't do it in camp, and we moved him into guard, and then he's an All-Pro.
Do the Jay Gruden for us there, Jesse.
He's a guard.
They drafted a guard. They gave me a guard.
They gave me a guard.
Gave me a guard. So, Scott, did you also pick Brandon Coleman?
Yeah, Brandon Coleman. Yeah.
All right. I think we're all going to go the same place in this one, too. Rookie of the Year defense.
Obviously.
Mikey, I think.
Mike Samuel has to be.
Mike Samuel.
Max
would
you
like
Newton?
to maybe...
No, it's Mikey Sanders.
Okay.
I was trying to think of...
kind of come up with Jean-Baptiste.
That's what I was trying to
something.
He had the one sack.
Jordan McGee.
Right, Jordan McGee. Right.
Hey, did you see the pirouette he did when Cavante Turpin spinned him out of his shoes? That thing was golden.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, McGee, he cost us that. So he got out of his lane, and I'm not going to go there right now because we don't have worse plays up yet. All right, so let's go to the next segment I have here. Let's go with Scott. Scott, fuck, marry, kill.
Yep.
Tress Way, Frankie Louvu, Andrew Wiley.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Oh, it's kill.
I'd fuck home. What the hell? I'm not a
Scotty found himself in a gay bar.
No, I didn't. No,
No?
there is. Yeah. No.
You notice how tongue-tied Scott gets when this whole thing comes up?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Karen, how many nights a week does he tell you, I've got to go down to the library and podcast with Scout? Life on the down low in Barrow and Furnace, UK.
Can you still see and hear me?
Yes.
Right, I can't see the screen at all. It's
Really?
gone really funny on my end. Yeah.
Really?
So I will tell you
Let's
Dan.
see what it
I'll
looks
probably
like.
I'll probably pop out and then I'll come back.
Let's
But
see.
yeah, if we're going down that route, I would say I'd have to marry probably Frankie Louvu, kill Andrew Wiley, which would be tough.
Yeah.
It would take a lot. That maybe I'd have to put hobnail boots on and go for it.
Scott went downright graphic on us, didn't he? I can't wait to hear how he's going to fuck Tress Way.
It'd be like seal clubbing, wouldn't it? it'd be like seal clubbing with Andrew Wiley. For Tress Way, it would be like a Diddy party. I think that's probably where we'd go.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have to leave this.
Wait a second. Wait, he doesn't know what a Diddy party means.
Who doesn't? I do too know what a Diddy party means.
Give me
God.
that baby oil.
Scott's not even here, so we'll wait for him to come back. We'll start that up again. Why? Yes, of course I would know what that is. What? I mean, good God, I'm not like isolated from the world. You know.
You want to try that again? Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You don't leave your house but like once a week. Yes, you are.
Not necessarily. I go out a lot more than you think I do. I'm on the down low, unless we know.
Wait a second.
What? Seriously, Scouse?
Imagine Louvu destroy Harley on the
Calling me Oos every 2 seconds. All right, Oos.
Now we see what Scouse is dreaming about.
Give me that baby oil. Really rub it on my back.
Make it. All right. People are fucking sick, I gotta tell you.
You people are fucking sick, and Donald Trump's coming to kick your butt.
All right, where are we? What are we on? Let's see.
I think we're on
free agent signing.
Breast free agent
Best
signing.
free agent, yeah.
I'll go first. Ertz. That's my pick. And I know there's a lot of other good ones, but that's my pick. Zach Ertz gave him exactly what we needed to Jaden Daniels. Frankie Louvu. Hell yeah, man. I've waffled on those two, but I figured, okay, somebody else will take Louvu. He'll get his flowers.
In most years, if we did this, there'd be like maybe one. But there's multiple free agents that we got this year that could win this award.
Absolutely. Scott, who do you have? Best free agent signing.
I've got Zach Ertz too, but I've also said special mention to Bobby Wagner.
Special mention to Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner, come on down. There you go. Bobby Wagner, special mention from Scott, all the way from Barrow & Furnace, UK. Max, who do you have?
I wrote
Best
down
free
Marcus
agent.
Mariota.
Marcus Mariota?
Specifically for the... Because, hey, you guys took everybody.
Scotty fell over and dropped his phone. And now, from completely over in left field, Max Taman.
I said Mariota because of how much he actually helped the benefit of Jaden Daniels.
I know exactly why you said it. I still think it's funnier than hell.
But I mean, also, you guys took everybody.
I know you can take anybody else. You do, but that was great. Good podcasting. Nice job. All right, let's see. Get him back on here. Where you going?
You all right there, buddy? Oh my God!
That's what he wanted you.
Do we think Wagner will stay for another season? I sure as hell hope so.
I hope so. Yeah.
I'm going to say yes. I think he was well received in this locker room as the leader of the defense, and I think he's going to want one more crack at it.
I think at least one. I definitely think he'll come back. I think he likes what he's got there with Jaden Daniels and thinks he can get him to a Super Bowl. And I don't think he's done playing anyway. If we release him, I think he'd play someplace else.
Did anyone say Biadish?
Scott G did because he's surprised about something.
He's very good. He's had a very good season. That was a very good off-season acquisition. 100%.
Imagine our shock, Scott. He's surprised Max took Marcus over Biadish. I was surprised. That comes from his mother's side of the family, by the way.
All right, worst free agent signing. I mean,
this should also be unanimous.
Mike Davis.
Yes,
yes, that's who I've got.
Mike Davis.
Yeah. Mike Davis. 7 years as a Charger. He's okay. He comes here and he's completely terrible. And he was. Now I can't remember which one was first, Dorrance Armstrong or him, because Mike Davis was an early signing. As I recall,
he wasn't the first. Armstrong was first before him.
You know,
I think Mike Davis was like day 3 or 4 or something like that.
My favorite part about the Mike Davis epilogue is when we were there, just watching him get spun around by Malik Neighbors.
Yeah,
and just watching Scott's head just vibrate as soon as Mike Davis gets on the field.
Terrible player. Terrible player. Did we not sign someone called Pierre or something from the Steelers as well?
But he got cut.
Yeah, I think so. Before even camp.
Training camp or some shit.
I seem to think that was last year. Oh no, it was this year because we were.
It was this year.
We were enjoying being able to call a game with Pierre in it.
Pierre.
That's right. All right, so
what do we got next?
All right, the biggest surprise. Biggest surprise. Good, big surprise. We got a big good surprise and a big bad surprise. What's the big good surprise?
I mean, winning 12 games?
That's a good surprise. That's a hell of a great surprise.
Yeah.
Except the Max, who had him at 11. Surprise. All right, Scotty, what about you?
I put Sheldon Day. I thought he was really good when he came in. He was decent. Not as in the whole season. I did think at one stage we were looking at players there, thinking who was a surprisingly good player. That's where I thought we were going with that, rather than overall season.
But whatever you want. There's no rules on this show. Although I will point out that Jessy, he is moving in on your wife there. Giving awards to Sheldon Day.
Back the fuck off.
Yeah, buddy.
Back off my man.
In his world, you can't get his attention unless you slap him in the face with a glove. And then it's on. All right, Max, who is your biggest surprise of the year on the good side?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay. I was going to say the same thing.
The overall play of Jaden Daniels.
I mean, we all thought he was going to be good.
We didn't think he'd be this good this early.
Well, nobody thought he could be this good. Nobody's ever been this good.
I mean, did you look at the stats that I had the year? I had him at 30 plus fucking touchdowns, like 4,000 fucking yards.
Yeah, you did.
How many interceptions did I have him have? He had 9
8.
total, right?
You had him like 8, something like that.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
12. Oh, Scott's got to get the Big and Boss book out.
He's got to get it out of the hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, let me go back and look at the
glass
envelope
case
paper
for that book. Now that it's pretty,
We got to
much
put it
retired.
on the wall right there underneath the picture of all you guys on the field there.
I agree. That should go into the Bleeding Burgundy
Scroll.
Podcast Museum. Let's see here. We got
This paper is made of velour, I have you know.
Velour?
And I'm scribing it in with my quill and ink. And the legislation says today, Jesse, that
I had
you
some
went
curtains
with
that were made of velour.
Dickhead. 31-7. 7 interceptions, yeah.
That's pretty damn
So
good.
that would constitute as a fucking badass year.
Jesse, come on down. Yeah, that's a pretty good year. Let's see. What were we on? We were on
So
the
we're on
biggest
the
surprise.
surprise
So
bad.
for me, the biggest good surprise, I think, is Brandon Coleman. We may have actually found our left tackle in the third round. They brought him along the right way, and going down the stretch, I mean, he had some injuries and he had his problems against some of the better players, but he's a rookie playing left tackle, and I think he was my biggest surprise. I was terrified of that. I was like, oh shit, if he doesn't work out, Jaden could get fucking killed. But here Jaden played 18 games, 21 games. How many games did they go? 20 games?
20.
20 games? There you go. Stayed up the whole damn time. I like that. So there's my good surprise, is Brandon Coleman's emergence as possibly our starting left tackle.
The 2 times Jaden got injured wasn't because of a sack. It was because he was running 20 yards downfield.
Right.
Scout says, I expected double-digit TDs if Daniels was as good as I thought he would be. I mean, of course, most quarterbacks will throw double-digit TDs.
He's talking about McLaurin.
Oh, okay. All right. Biggest surprise, bad.
Oh, boy.
Who wants to go
Scott.
first?
You
Okay,
go
so my
first,
biggest
Scott.
surprise band this year was
can.
an old man New York Giants fan with a walking stick. No, I've put Emmanuel Forbes. Terrible, just awful. But you can, and then seconded, I've got run game. Just the lack of holding, of defending the run rather than
number
the
one
run
is the
game.
run game right there.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
if you want to sing it in on a player, I thought Allegretti would be a little bit better than he was too.
Yeah. For me, it's I hate to say the run defense because so much of that is the fault of the guys in the back who can't cover the pass. So I'll just go straight up and say, Benjamin St. Just, you were completely unable to handle what was asked of you in any capacity. I've heard lots of people make excuses to make, but you can't keep making excuses for the guy and say, okay, well, he plays great 90% of the time, except that other 10% he's getting beat for a touchdown or he's giving up a big penalty and keeping a drive alive. He was a disappointment in me in that I thought that maybe he could do so, not necessarily great, but better than that, better than just being the instant target the second he gets on the field.
Yeah, I can accept when players give up touchdowns. Okay, that's
It
gonna
happens.
Fucking
Sure,
happen
sure.
Every game and pretty much everyone that you play, but the constant in big moments,
The penalty.
Constantly on third downs or. You're giving up these penalties, or damn well that's where they're going with the ball, and it's constant. Mm-hmm. You give up a big play,
Or a penalty.
Yeah, well, penalties in those big moments, man. I just can't with that. That's what gets me. I don't care.
I'd absolutely put a lot of it on Joe Witt in that we saw that he played these guys deep, and their whole fucking game plan for the cornerbacks was do not get beat over the top at all costs. Right, so they gave up all this. Well, they gave up all this underneath shit. I would have hoped better for Benjamin St. Juste as a third-round pick by this time to be at least not completely incompetent the way that he was.
I was going to say, can we answer that question?
Yeah.
Sure, Kim says.
Probably
Hey, Kim.
because the kid's never played more than 13 games in his entire life, and he was exhausted.
Yeah, he played
He
20.
hasn't had a season, a day off football for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
You think about it. You imagine what you've got. You've got a whole season with LSU. Now I get that it's not as many games as the NFL. Then you've got all of the draft process, all of the stress and strain with that, combines, pro days.
You got pro days.
Yeah,
right after the season.
Then you straight into OTAs, rookie mini camps, and then into preseason, and then it's going to be crazy.
Games.
Yeah.
But also,
man.
did you guys watch any of the Pro Bowl games yesterday?
Look, that's the whole bottom line of it. It's not any of those things. The fact of the matter is that they wanted
most
Jaden
watched ever.
Jaden wanted to.
Yeah, that's great, but it was most watched by 13 people.
There you go. They beat the dozen from last year. Look, they wanted Jaden Daniels to play on the goddamn Connect 4 team, and he says he didn't want to play on the Connect 4 team. He wanted to play on the Go Fish team. So he said, if I can't play Go Fish, I'm not going.
No, he found out that apparently Daboll was going to be one of the coaches, and he said, fuck him after his board scenario where it made him look stupid.
Brian Daboll was going to be the twister coach.
God
damn it, I said left foot green!
I hope they do another off-season version of Hard Knocks because that was great.
It was actually, and to be honest, I really enjoyed the AFC North in season 1 as well. To be fair,
although what the fuck are you doing here?
Although I do like the, I do like Harbaugh, but I just thought he's a bit.
I just like watching Harbaugh walk anymore. Harbaugh walks like he's got to take a shit. It makes me laugh every damn time.
And you watched Joe Paterno for how long?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but Joe Paterno walked around like he had something up his ass, which, as we come to find out, maybe he did. But no, something's wrong with. I mean, Harbaugh's got a lot of hits. He's just footballed out, but he walks around like
Jim
walks around like he's got to take a shit.
I'm talking about John.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Jim. I'm talking about Jim.
Well, both the same, aren't they? But
I just saw this.
One can't beat the other.
Fox, NFL on Fox, 2024 Coach of the Year, voted by the fans is Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh, good. NFL on Fox also voted fucking Sam Darnold as comeback player of the year. Listen to me. There is nothing about his success this year that's a comeback. The only achievement that fucking square-headed goddamn Cinderblock ever had was getting drafted. He's never been any good. He's never been anything at all. He's bounced around the league. Finally, he's good. He didn't come back. He finally showed up his potential. He showed up for what he should have been. That's not a comeback story. It's not a comeback. You want to keep going? I'll tell you what. Sam Darnold, you should not accept any of these awards. If you had any humility whatsoever, you'd take your big square fucking head up there on every one of those podiums and say, I'm sorry, I can't accept this award on the grounds of this solid bullshit. I didn't really ever accomplish anything, so I can't come back to it. And then step aside. Give it to somebody who deserves it.
Can we just think real quick? Not that he is, but if in some parallel universe Sam Darnold was a Hall of Fame quarterback, how much bronze would be needed for his bust?
Dude, they built one for Peyton Manning, so there's enough bronze. They did.
True.
Although I've been told that the one with Peyton Manning is probably stuffed with Hershey's chocolate.
For as square as Sam Darnold's head is, Scouse's is just as round. So,
see, that's a dirty shot. I fight with Scouse because Scouse started it with me. You're just taking cheap shots there. I
got a quote from Joe Shane, and listen to this. He's talking about. He says the Giants' search is on for a QB, but he says the cupboard is not bare offensively. What do y'all think about that?
I'm sorry, I was reading what Scott G said. He's disrupting the show again. Say it again.
It's not offensively bare. The cupboard at there. They've got Malik Neighbors, but that's about it.
And I think Tyrone Tracy if Tyrone Tracy has, he's okay, but you don't need a great back. I mean, look at the Chiefs.
Yeah, he's only won Coach of the Year for the Fox NFL, not
that's
the
all right.
actual NFL.
Those things, they start dominoes, they fall, and other people look at that and that sort of thing.
But I think Dan Quinn should.
Of course he should.
It's close. He should have Coach of the Year. What he's done with this team.
Scott wants to know: you're saying fans are stupid in their voting?
Yes.
Scott, you're a longtime viewer of this podcast. You know better than anybody. We know. Fans are fucking stupid, and that includes us. And the most easiest way to really balance out the scales of anything is to let fans vote for it. Oh, my God. It's crazy. That's why I always get a kick out of these people with the name change. You should have let fans vote for it. No, you shouldn't. We'd end up being called Football Team McFootball Team or something stupid like that again. So, by the way, Kevin Sheehan, fucking find a topic. Christ. Bringing the name back up
alone
again.
is keeping this topic alive.
Here I am wearing this Command the Future and Honor Our Past t-shirt, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay,
people.
What was it? Overachiever is the next one, or is it?
Overachiever is the next one, yeah. I would say that the name Commanders is overachieving. It's the number one selling brand in the NFL, and that means they aren't going to change it.
Okay. Have you genuinely gone with that?
No, I haven't. I just figured I'd finish my point with it. Go ahead. Who's your overachiever, Jesse?
Fuck. I'm going to say... I don't know. This is tough. Maybe Jaden Daniels. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe this is what he's going to be every year.
Maybe Terry McLaurin. I highly doubt that he's going to get all-pro second team in the future again. I'm not trying to be funny.
I know, but you are anyway. So go ahead, Scotty. Who's yours?
I've gone with Quan Martin. I thought he's had an exceptional season this year. Really came into his own, and he's locked up that safety position. There was questions when we went into training camp and coming into the season as to who would be in there with Jeremy Chin, and he's had a very, very good season. So yeah, he's probably one of the first players I want to see on that sheet, team sheet. So yeah, you're playing. So Quan Martin for me.
Quan Martin. Max, who do you have?
Jeremy Chin.
Okay, he did come on. You got anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, Hammerhead overachieved. There we go.
There we go. Hammerhead. The Hammerhead. All right, I'm picking Dante Fowler. I thought he overachieved.
Yeah,
that's a good shout.
I think that what he showed is what he's capable of. And I tell you what, I do like a player who plays violent like he does, because he really does, man. He really, like I like to call it, he gets in and he mucks it up, man. He just, whoever's in front of him, you're coming out of there bruised. And I just wish he could get his hands under control before he gets to the quarterback so he doesn't take those penalties as much as he does. Because we saw at the end of the year, he got a really bad roughing call on him, which was not a roughing call at all. He didn't hit him anywhere near the top of his head, but he gets the reputation. Yeah, he got him right in the chest, but it was clean. But you get a reputation, when you come in like that. People see those hands up, But I do like him. I thought that he overachieved this year. I thought he was good, and I think that we should bring him back. All right, underachiever for the season. I think we all know who that is.
Brian Robinson Jr.
Oh, I thought you. Okay, go ahead. You're first. Brian Robinson Jr.
I've got two.
Yeah.
My two are Deron Payne.
Okay.
I don't think's been brilliant, and I've also got Cleveland Farrell. I thought he was awful.
Yeah, he didn't.
Being honest, he's injured a lot. Always on the injury report. Did next to nothing.
And I'll put a caveat next to Brian. I do think the offensive line had a lot to do with his underachieving.
Scout says the refs.
Kim says Mike Sanistrel overachiever. You're right. I don't know if he definitely came on. He's definitely shown his leadership, and that's what I liked about him when we drafted him.
Remember, guys, dude's a slot corner. He's not an outside corner.
I know.
Very
so
true.
what he
is
did
now.
Is Kim, that's definitely a good shout, because he really did come on as if we're speaking stat wise, our best cornerback.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we need to have a conversation about John Allen as well? No, I know he was injured.
Why talk about him? He's not going to be here next year.
I don't think he'll be here.
Do you think he's gone because of the cap savings?
Yeah, they're going
to. It's 17 mil, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to cut his ass.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Is it 17?
There's not going to be no.
I think if we put him as a June 1st cut.
Yeah, none of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, he hasn't got any guaranteed money left. You're right, Jesse. I'm sure it's 17 million against the cap, but.
All right, Scotty, who's your underachiever?
Yeah, so I'm saying my underachiever is either Deron Payne. I think he's had a poor season by standards. I know he's playing differently, and he's more of a run stuffer rather than a an out.
That didn't work either.
Middle, but that didn't happen. And then Cleland Farrell's been a very poor signing. I know he's a DMV guy, and I get that he rooted for this team, but that shouldn't give you a spot. He came from the Raiders, where he hadn't had a great couple of seasons, and he was. I thought he was quite poor for us.
San Francisco. He played really good in San Francisco.
But not. He had 2 poor seasons with the Raiders. Came to us, and he was also, I thought, quite poor this year. Hence why one of our biggest needs in the off season is edge.
Okay,
we just haven't had any proper edges.
All right, so Scotty, who do you have for our underachiever?
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
He actually started to go for it. I'll say it again. All right, Max, who do you have down as an underachiever?
I had Deron Payne as well.
All right.
But I just pulled up the John Allen contract. If he is cut, no matter what this offseason, it's $6 million dead cap for next season.
Yeah.
So if he's on the roster,
that would leave $11 million in cap savings. So that would put us at 95.
99.
If he's a pre-June 1st release, it would be $16 million in terms of savings.
There you go.
If he is a post-June 1st release, it would be 16. It would be the same amount, $16 million.
So he, irrespective of where he gets cut, it's $16 million.
Correct.
Savings.
And if he's on the
That's
team,
a lot of money.
if he's on the team,
A couple dozen eggs.
It's a $22 million cap hit.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
So bye-bye.
Sorry.
Bye-bye, Johnny.
All right, so Scott G.
restructure.
Scott G says underachiever was Sam Cosby. Struggled after signing the extension.
Very good point.
Would you
Good
say?
point.
Did he struggle all season? I mean, he had games where he wasn't very good, but I don't know if he was.
He had a couple bad matchups, but I wouldn't say struggle.
He wasn't good, but he wasn't bad. He was right down the middle, I think.
Yeah, he has some tough assignments this year.
Yeah, I mean that trigonometry page that he had to write was just ridiculous.
I think that he struggled against everybody that did. Like, he struggled against not Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Everyone did.
Yeah.
He struggled against Micah Parsons when he lined up over him. Everybody does. Like, I don't think you could say.
Scout says somebody named C.O. Allen. Who the hell's that?
Chow Allen. Chow, as in see ya.
Yes,
but no, I think
Sticking around.
I know you were. I think that Scott G's correct. I think he has had a poor season by standards. Cosme got the bag and he dropped off. Same as Deron Payne got the bag and dropped off.
I thought Scott was ordering his dinner.
If you look at Deron Payne, like, statistically,
Chicken Chow Allen.
This season is very normal for him. The year that he got his contract,
Salt and pepper chips and chicken Chow Allen, please. Do you do liver? No, you do lamb, chicken, and beef. Boom.
All year, Jesse is saying the bad offensive line is the reason why B-Rob struggled, but he's the biggest money earner. So, and that I guess
there's 5 people in that offensive line,
and a running back that can't seem to do anything but run right up their buttholes, and he does. I think he's in. I'd hate to disparage Brian Robinson Jr. like this, but I think when he looks ahead of him before the play, all he can focus on is like Allegretti's asshole. So he has to run to it. And if he gets through the line, he runs right to it. Wham! Or if it's whichever butthole he fixates on, that's the one he's going to run into 2 yards up the field.
If they all stop washing their assholes, maybe Robinson would just make that turn, make that cut so he can get that whip.
Oh, my God. And there goes Robinson again outside the outer. He breaks off tackle again. Jesus, the defense is falling all over themselves. We could have Mark Schlereth on. He can tell us all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We've gone way too long on this.
We have.
We sure have. All right, so we only have 1 or 2 left. We've got the play of the year, which I think everybody knows what that is. Oh, my underachiever of the year was Benjamin St. Just. Go home, you goddamn freaking maple syrup drinking motherfucker. Play of the year was the Hail Mary, wasn't it?
Achieved what he's been doing since he's got in the league, and he didn't under or overachieve.
I call him an underachiever.
So is this play of the year now, John?
Play of the year. It's got to be the Hail Mary, right?
I've got 5.
Hail Mary.
I had 4.
I took the Hail Mary. Go ahead, pick yours.
Hail Mary is one of mine.
I got mine is the game 3 against Cincinnati Bengals.
The touchdown to
Terry touchdown. Yeah, that's one of mine on there.
Max, Hail Mary, that's just luck, man. That's we did everything.
He dropped that right into it
in the Hail Mary. The assignments.
Yeah.
But
it just bounced our way.
That play against the Bengals, dropped it right in the fucking bucket. Beautiful pass while getting fucking knocked out
And after Terry had gone to the sidelines and said, "I see it. I see something," and they called it the like 2 plays later, and he got it.
So
yeah, I agree with that. Good pick.
I had Terry times Dallas in both, or Terry against Dallas, the 87-yarder plus the fade route that he actually caught. Jay Gruden's over in wherever he's living. Just
I love the 87-yarder, except that we lost.
We did.
But it was still an awesome play.
But I also had the first pass in the preseason.
Oh,
because
Diami Brown in the Jets.
That ball. That was when we all sat up and said, "We got a guy." Like we knew he was going to be something, but we didn't think he'd be like this
in the preseason. Yeah, it was nice. I think during then we're like, okay, he can throw that long ball, but to see it, like he struggled a little bit week 1 with his first game out there. I mean, he made some good plays. Don't get me wrong, and we saw that. I think he was a little bit nervous to throw the ball. We saw him run a lot in the first game, and then the second game we were all there. A lot of, I mean, we didn't get the ball in the end zone. But we did move it. But that third game is when he really came out of his shell, and then that fucking beauty. Oh my God, I will never stop. But every time I see that on, scrolling through X, I always stop and watch that play.
Have you taken the time to watch the 54-minute Jaden Daniels highlights from NFL on YouTube?
I haven't been on X really since we lost it in the NFC Championship game.
So
it's surprisingly quiet.
The NFL put out like the Jaden Daniels highlight tape, 54-minute long.
We'll enjoy that probably this evening. Then is it on NFL.com?
It's on YouTube.
Jesse's going to enjoy it in like 3-minute intervals. And he's going to
20 minutes apart.
Watch 3 minutes, 20 minutes. Who's the young guy here? Who's the youngest in the room? All right. Let's see. Go ahead.
I got 2 more. So I got your one, Jesse. Terry TD versus the Cowboys. Max, the long one. That was awesome. The Hail Mary, I got yours, John. The Cincinnati TD to Terry was ridiculous because that's when we knew, this is him. The Eagles throw to Crowder to win against the Eagles was unbelievable with seconds on the clock. Yep. And then the final play I've got was obviously the TD against the Falcons to Ertz to get you to seal the playoffs. They were my top 5.
I think we should all try to harmonize saying Ertz.
Well, first, did we do a worst play?
No, because there's it's hard to really pick out one worst play.
I think that it's easy.
Go ahead.
Actually,
Go ahead.
I have 2. The Saquon
it's easy to pick out the worst play. I've got 2.
It's the Saquon run.
Saquon run, yeah.
The Saquon run in the NFC Championship.
Yes, that was terrible.
The missed extra point by Seibert in the Dallas game.
Yes, that was terrible.
It ripped the hearts out of us.
Way to wreck the end of the show. Jeez. I tell you what. All right, then, just for that, Max. Fuck, marry, kill. Jim Irsay, Jerry Jones, or Saeed Khan?
What, Saeed Khan? What, you mean the London mayor?
No, I mean the owner of the Jaguars.
Shad Khan.
Shad Khan, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
All right, so
the guy with the
Khan is the London mayor.
The guy with the funny-looking mustache.
So Irsay would be fun. So I'm gonna say Irsay. I'd sleep with Irsay.
Wow,
Irsay would be fun.
Yeah, everything else that he'd bring with it.
Yeah, well, you touch one thing he had, you'd never get it up for a month.
Max said he's got the drugs. I'll bring him.
I would. I think I would marry Shad Khan for the money.
Good. They all got money.
Which means
you've got to share him with like 500 other wives, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I got to share the bank account. And then I would probably kill Jerry Jones.
Well, goddamn it, that's just downright disrespectful.
Let's be honest. In the amount of time it took me to make that decision, Jerry Jones could have keeled over.
Listen, I mean, I would probably
so could a Jim Irsay, to be fair.
My God, if you really want to get right down to it, Jim Irsay could keel over any minute now.
I'd have to kill Khan and keep Irsay and Jerry around for the parties. I think.
Thank you. I got to tell you, I'm a magnificent bottom. I know how to move it, baby. I know how to shake it, and I know how to put it just where it goes the right way.
Now, here's the thing, though. When Jerry
knows where all the glory holes are.
Goddamn right. I'll tell you something. I got a map in my truck. That's exactly where all the best glory holes in Texas are. All right, so what? What? Max, say again.
I said that when Jerry Jones does keel over, Stephen Jones is going to be running the Cowboys, and that's just going to be a fun time.
Oh, my God. That's just going to be terrible. You understand what's going to happen to the Cowboys after that. We're all of a sudden going to go straight-laced. The worst thing that boy does is drink champagne out of his girlfriend's shoe. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Jerry, what's the worst thing you caught Stephen Jones doing in your box when the camera's turned on?
Masturbating. I mean, goddamn it, that boy just can't keep it in his pants. Every time I turn around, he's got his dick in his hand. I gotta tell him, look, I understand that your goddamn mother is my cousin, but you gotta act a little bit better than this when the TV cameras is on. My God, we've got game day hostesses. Use one of them. We're billionaires, for fuck's sake. Find yourself somebody to exploit. Anyway.
Are we done?
Yes, I think we're about done. So, there you go. There's your superlatives. There's the end of your season. All right, so the 1 Point Safety Show will be on Thursday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon here on the East Coast of the United States, where Scott and Scouse will try to drag Scott's reputation back from wherever it just came from, wherever we put it on Mondays. And Friday, I don't think we're coming on Friday, are we? I got to take a break, man. So, yeah, I think what we ought to do is we'll be back to Friday before the Super Bowl.
That's next week.
That's not this Friday. Oh, today is Friday. I'm sorry. Look, I never pay attention to what day it is. I've never known what day it is because I work every fucking day. So I never care what day it is.
The only thing I know is need a break. Hey, we'll be on next week.
Why don't we are we going to do a review of the Super Bowl rather than a preview?
Yeah, we can come back and talk about it afterwards. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll come back on that Monday. And yeah, I spent 20 years freelancing. You don't get a day off. So I don't ever care what day it is. Honest to God, my calendar revolves around football. It's not dementia. It's a hell of a work ethic. That's what it is.
Hey, real quick, just so you guys can laugh at this. There are people saying after the Senior Bowl that Jackson Dart might be QB2 in the draft.
Wow.
Well, how far should Dart
I don't know what he's actually like because scouts were saying he's actually not that bad. Is he at Ole Miss?
Jackson Dart's Ole Miss.
Yeah, I almost get that in a way. I think Shedeur Sanders got overrated these past 2 years. I think Gian has made it a show for that reason, and whoever drafts him. I even saw something the other day. I think I was listening to ESPN radio. Saying that Pulaski, I think he was saying that there is no way any team should trade up for any one of these quarterbacks that are coming out.
This is going to be a Kenny Pickett type draft for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
I don't think Shedeur Sanders will be a bad pro if he goes to the right place and not so high that there's so much expectation. If he's like a 3rd round pick, 5th round pick, I think he's got a better chance.
He's going in the 1st round, surely.
This is not a good draft for offensive playmakers. Wide receivers are not great. Running backs, they're basically all the running backs that are coming out. They're pretty much all the same type of running back. They're kind of bruiser type running backs that aren't real, like super shifty. But this is a good running back for interior defensive line and edge.
I don't know, man. I've kind of gotten used to the running back that runs dead into the fucking asshole of his center and just kind of plants himself there. You know, maybe we could turn something into that. All right. So we will see you when we see you, which will be the Monday after the Super Bowl. And until then,
who's going top 5?
Oh, he's going top 5. Who? Shedeur Sanders? I'm not going to say he won't because people go stupid for quarterbacks. They overreach all the fucking time. All the time. We got lucky. You know, the guy that we picked is that, and that's it. You know, it's more than just him. It's the coaching staff. It's the way that they put everything together. You know, we had the perfect storm. So, and just so I could remind Adam Rank, the Bears had the opportunity to do the same thing, fucked it all up.
Well,
so good luck with that.
Staff fucked it up more than anything else.
Well, see, they should have fired the coach. That's what I'm saying. They had an opportunity to get a coach with a quarterback at the same time with the first pick.
Sanders ain't going top 5.
Everybody.
Has Eberflus got a job at the Cowboys?
Yeah, he's Dallas's DC.
Yep.
He's always been a good defensive coordinator.
He's a good DC. But
yeah, some people are better coordinators than anything else. Then they go be a head coach and they get completely.
The Saints are heavily eyeballing Kellen Moore as their head coach. So
here's a pro tip, Saints. You want to track Kellen Moore? Put chocolate milk out.
I mean,
and ginger.
With how much the Saints are just in cap hell, they're going to be. That's a bad team. But
some people are much better coordinators than anything else. They get there and at their big chance of being a coach, they find out that I'm just not cut out for this. I should be calling plays. Instead of calling plays, I'm down here on the sidelines trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And I never knew what the fuck to do. I figured, all right, we're going to go 8-8, and that's good enough for me. Ain't nobody going to fire me.
Get your cans of Norway ready, everybody.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm almost 75 years old now. I could maybe win 6 games in a season, or 4.
Scott doesn't even know who Norv Turner is.
Yes, I do.
You make a lot of assumptions, Max.
Scouse
Does anybody
says
on this panel
he
think
thinks a bet.
Shedeur Sanders is a top 5 pick?
Yeah, Scouse is saying there's a bet on the cards here with you, Jesse.
All right, I'll take his money.
No, I don't think he's no. Chris says there is no number 1 QB. Ward and Sanders are not worthy of top 5 picks. Yeah, I agree.
So what are we wagering on here, Scouse lads?
I think is the only one that's going to go in the top 10.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens then. I still have not gotten my brain turned on to draft or free agency yet because I'm still kind of basking in the season at the moment, enjoying what we had, even though we didn't get it all the way.
The draft as much as we've had in the past because, I mean, we're drafting basically almost in the second round. So Peters is a lot smaller than us. So we're going to let him dive into that.
Okay, we'll do something with that. All right, then. I guess I'm going to say see you later. See you later.
See you later.